And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. What another banner season for Great Oak Boys Golf. Another Southwestern League banner, and the season is not over for the Wolfpack quite yet. Some great individual efforts that we're going to talk about. Coach Boyd here, and we're going to get to some of your golfers in a second, but man, I wouldn't expect anything less, but another great season for Great Oak Golf. I think it's, 15 league titles in the past 16 seasons or something like that. Am I close?
You're close. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, we opened up in 2004, so it's about 18 seasons in. We've been in the Southwestern League for 14 of those. So this was number 13 in 14 years. So,
and Coach, we know, high school sports is like a revolving door. You're constantly, obviously getting in new kids and trying to keep that program at a certain level where you want to see it. What's your secret? How do you do it?
It's the luck of the draw. Whenever I have a great team on the way out, you always hear of a couple middle schoolers that are on their way. And sure enough, when my last great squad went through, I heard rumblings at Vale Ranch Middle School that a kid named Ryan Abuon and Nathan Sampson were there. So I was counting down the days to get them part of the program.
Well, Coach, speaking of your guys, we're going to get to them in just a second, but let's go back to Monday. You had two at the CIF individual regional. Not only do well there, they're advancing. They're in the top 20, and you had Ryan Abuon actually win the whole thing. He posted a low score. You've got a huge smile on your face. How proud were you of these guys going into such a significant tournament and doing so well in such a big moment?
Yeah, I mean, these guys got kind of robbed of their freshman year experience, with the COVID shutdown. We were just getting started with a great squad back then, so they're kind of down a year, and like most parents don't really understand what these CIF divisionals mean. To realize that we're playing in a section with just under 600 schools. So our regional covers about 170, 180 schools, and these are the best people from those schools. So anytime you have a radius that large that goes from San Bernardino to Palm Springs down to us, to have a couple guys finish in the top three is just a proud moment for the program.
So the individuals were great. You still have the team, right? Team CIF coming up next week.
Yeah. So we're to the divisional system now. So we were placed in Division I. So 20 teams from that section of 500 plus schools qualify for that Division I, and we'll be playing at Western Hills on Monday, which we're looking forward to seeing if we can finish in the top 10 there to move on to Oxnard next week.
Well, Coach, let's talk to some of your guys as well. You mentioned Ryan's on the line is with us as well, Nathan Sampson. But let me go to Ryan Abuon first, who is your Southwestern League. I think he won, right, the Southwestern League title. He won the CIF individual. He's done a lot this season. Ryan, what's kind of been the secret ingredient? What's been the key to your success this season on the golf course?
Super easy, having these guys support me along the way. It's been really easy to stay focused on the golf course. But I think just, putting a lot of work in individually and, just kind of sticking to the game plan of hitting fairways, hitting greens, and then rolling in a couple putts. But, it's my hard work's really paid off this season. I put a lot of work in the winter and last fall during tryouts. But, I would just say it's a lot of hard work, and it made the success came a lot easier with such a great group of guys.
Ryan, is it more rewarding when you're able to win the Southwestern League, post the lowest score at CIF individual? Is it rewarding when you, like you said, you put in a lot of hard work to see that hard work actually come to fruition and you have the results to show for it?
Yeah. I think I wouldn't have had any sort of chance to compete if I didn't put any work in. And I feel that, it really shows that my hard work did really pay off. And it's definitely is rewarding to see these results come true.
Ryan, do you feel like you're playing your best golf of the season, or dare I say you might be able to even go lower and play a little bit better as we go through the final couple of weeks of the season?
Yeah, golf is never perfect, so you always want to say that you can keep improving, but I will say that I'm playing pretty well right now, and I'm glad it's coming. The good golf is coming towards the end of the season, but I'm going to keep working harder and keep limiting the mistakes on the golf course and see if I can keep going a little lower.
All right, Ryan, let me switch gears and talk to your teammate as well, Nathan Sampson. And Nathan, all these league titles, for the Wolfpack, Coach mentioned, going way back, and especially I think 14 seasons now in the Southwestern League you guys have been in. Obviously, there's a legacy at Great Oak. What do you think was the key this year for you guys to continue that legacy? And what was, the ability to play well all season long?
Well, obviously, it was a great legacy for the Wolfpack. It has been so far. We've obviously got that expectation for ourselves to live up to that. And I guess the key is just the great group of guys, and we all put in the hard work outside of just the matches. And since we don't technically have any structured team practices, that gives us, the players, the freedom to practice on our own and get lessons from our coach, and just put in all the work that we need to on our individual games.
You mentioned practicing on your own for a lot of people. Golf is fun, right? You go out there, it's an activity. You go out there, you play. So I would assume practice doesn't maybe necessarily always feel like practice, or is it fun? Or when you go out there, you're going out there with a purpose? You're like, okay, I got to work on the short game. I need to work off the tee. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, does it feel fun, or does it feel like work when you're preparing, for a big tournament?
It really all depends on what you really need to do. There are definitely times where you need to just block everything out and just practice hard and just really focus. And then there are definitely a bunch of times where it's better to just have fun. And I feel that sometimes you even get better practicing when you just go out and have fun with friends and like make practice fun, like do competitive stuff. That also helps keep your competitive edge going into tournaments and stuff like that.
Nathan, what did you think about your round on Monday? Were you happy with that? Obviously, you advanced, but were you happy with how you played? And kind of like how I asked Ryan, do you feel like you can still play better golf?
I was happy with advancing. I definitely left a bunch of shots out there, but with the conditions the way that they were, with how windy it was, and I had a bit of struggle in my last couple of competitive rounds and got a couple of the kinks worked out. But there's definitely some good signs going into the next round of CIF, and I hope to continue to peak, I guess, going through the next few rounds and continue to work and play better. But I definitely would say that I could have played much, much better.
Awesome. Thanks, Nathan. Let me go back to Coach here. And Coach, your team has had so much success over the course of the entire season. Here we get to the postseason. Do you try to let the guys just golf and try to get out of the way a little bit? Do you try to let them enjoy the moment? What's kind of the message to the team now that you get to the postseason? Again, coming on the heels of such a great, regular season and league play.
I try to stay out of these guys' way as much as possible. I mean, what I'm really proud about these guys, and Ian Burkhauser as well, I have three guys that are, going on to play D1 golf. And we know, like a lot of high school sports, there's a lot of important activity that's outside of the high school schedule. The AJGAs or the U.S. Open qualifiers or whatever, So how do you get your star athlete to buy into a program to represent their school, that cares about a record book and, wants to start a legacy? And these guys came in last year, and Great Oak has had some good golfers over the years. Those guys came in as my best 1-2 punch that I've ever had. And to come back, and even though they have their rides to college, to say, hey, we're going to buy in and let's take this thing far and let's advance to the playoffs, and to be able to do their stuff they do to prepare on the weekends with their other tournaments and still make high school golf important. I'm just proud of them. Proud of the program.
Coach, so let's rewind to the start of the season. You probably knew what you had. Were you pleasantly surprised? Did you have big expectations and goals for this team going into the year?
Yeah, I mean, the year that COVID shut down is I think the season we had our best squad. Because golf eventually you need 5 scores. It's a 6-person team and you need 5, and to get to state you usually have somebody towards the end of your roster that's 75 or 76. So coming in this year, and I knew I had 3 golfers that were par or better, that we can always expect 3 guys to come in. So now we have Ryan Osorio, and we have Bobby Erling, we have Ken Watatala Serapong. they're all at the end, and we're just hoping to get 2 scores in the 70s from a couple of them, and we might be able to make a run at this thing. But at the same time, we know that the burden's on these 3 guys to, come in and put up a great number, and going through league finals and going through Bear Creek like they did yesterday. I think they're ready to step up on Monday.
Has Great Oak had a team advance to the state tournament?
Yeah, 2015. Back in the Alex Force and Doug Head days, because only 3 teams make it, from our, from basically Sacramento to San Diego. And when you're competing against the Torrey Pines of the world, it's a big step, but it usually takes a score of about, 368, or so to advance. And we've done that a couple of times this year. So we're hoping we can put it together on the right day and maybe make another run.
And I think I asked you this question, but maybe more specifically now, you feel like this team, as good as they've been, can still be better. I don't know if it depends on maybe the weather conditions, or hopefully nobody has a girlfriend and they break up with them over the weekend. I mean, there's all these different factors, but do you still feel like whatever scores you guys are posting, that you can still bring it down a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you just always look for focus and fight, from the players, and when things start to go wrong, do you recover? And I think these guys are, enough team focused that they know that wherever they are, they have to hang in there for the team, so I think we're going to have that success with, these 2 very talented golfers that, miss a couple of putts. I've seen some players throw in the towel when it doesn't look like it's going their way. But if these guys are ready to compete, and, even though they have some shots they leave out there, they're still coming in strong at the end.
Well, Coach, listen, I really appreciate your time, and Ryan's and Nathan's as well. Best of luck going into the Team CIF. And if you guys, it sounds like you might just keep going all the way to state. And if you do, man, I'd love to have you back on the show. Maybe even bring you guys into our studio. When I'm back in the studio, bring you guys in so we can celebrate a little bit.
Hey, the CIF State Championship is Wednesday in Pasadena, so we'll plan on a Wednesday night episode, and we'll be celebrating these guys with a state individual title.
That would be fantastic. Coach, listen, you were so much fun. I really appreciate this. Ryan, Nathan, thank you guys so much as well, and best of luck going into CIF and hopefully and beyond, hopefully all the way to the state meet.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the great opportunity. This is a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Nathan, and Coach Boyd as well. That is Great Oak Boys Golf here on the Inland Sports Show.